This is a day of joy, a day of history, and a day of promise. Brief history of the Federal College of Education, Ofeme, Ohuhu. The Federal College of Education, Ofeme, Ohuhu, was formally established on May 28, 2023, through a presidential approval, marking a new dawn in the educational landscape of Abia State and Nigeria at large. The birth of the college was the product of years of vision, advocacy, and commitment, with High Chief Ikechi Emenike playing an instrumental role in facilitating the realization. His immense contribution remains an indelible part of this institution's foundation, even as this one stands as a federal establishment dedicated to national service and human capacity development. Following its establishment, the federal government approved the appointment of the pioneer principal officers, whose duty it was to lay the groundwork for the institution's growth and development. And they include Dr. Titus Andezeme as the provost, Mrs. Felicia Coleman Nenaibe as the registrar, Amobi Chikereze Ononogu Bossa, Mr. Bulus Caleb Damen, college librarian. The work of building institutional structures began in earnest. On June 10, 2023, the provost and the bossa paid a historic visit to the Ofeme community, where we were warmly received in the palace of the paramount ruler, His Royal Highness, late Eze Christian Elijah Udoka, MA2 of Ofeme. May his soul rest in peace. Alongside his cabinet and other community stakeholders. On that occasion, the community pledged an unalloyed support and commitment to provide all necessary assistance to ensure the institution's take-off and unhindered growth. Buoyed by the assurances of late MA2 and his cabinet members, the provost and his management team, which had increased to 4 with the assumption of duty by the registrar and the college librarian, swung into action through engagement with the host community and the relevant state government ministries for the purpose of processing and the procurement of necessary land documents for the college site. Though this was no mean feat, the effort eventually paid off in June 2024 with the issuance of the certificate of occupancy by the Abia State Ministry of Lands and Housing. This prompted the then Minister of Education, Professor Maman Tahir, SAN, to set up a high-powered ministerial committee to visit Abia State for the purpose of handing over and taking over the college site. During a courtesy call by the ministerial committee on the executive governor of Abia State, His Excellency Dr. Alex Chioma Oti, OFR, on 16th July 2024, the executive governor pledged to support the young institution by renovating structures at the secondary technical school of Ofeme, where the college was sited. True to his word, the executive governor fulfilled his promise in the renovation of one administrative block, 3 classroom blocks, furnished with students' desks and chairs, and a public convenience. These interventions provided us with a dignified take-off environment and laid the physical foundation for academic activities to commence. Constitution of College Governing Council. As part of the government framework for the new institution, the federal government constituted the Pioneer Governing Council of the college, which was inaugurated on July 4, 2024, alongside governing councils of other federal institutions. The governing council immediately resumed duties and has since been making the desired impact in steering the affairs of the college. These pioneer members include, and it is my pleasure to inform you that they are all here, all the council members, but one of them is here. And they include the chairman of the council, Haji Arabia Hussein Adamu, is right behind us here. Honorable Nimbe Taoshe, member. Honorable Zachary Abdullahi, member. Honorable William Wilfred, member. Honorable Maureen Eze, member. Mrs. Agu Elizabeth, who is unavoidably absent, is a Federal Ministry of Education representative. Mr. Uko I. Uko, please. National Commission for Colleges of Education, NCCE representative. Resource visitation and academic progress. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, a defining moment in the life of our young institution came in December 2024 when a resource verification team from the National Commission for Colleges of Education visited the college to assess our readiness to mount academic programs. This exercise was thorough, professional, and highly instructive, for it provided us not only with an external evaluation but also with the assurance that we are building on the right foundation. Following the verification, the Commission graciously approved the 6 academic schools and 29 academic programs for our college. This approval is far more than a procedural milestone. It is the very license that gives legitimacy to our academic work, the confidence to admit students, and the assurance that the certificates we shall issue in the future will be nationally recognized and respected. The importance of this exercise cannot be overstated. It signaled to all stakeholders, staff, students, parents, and the host community that the Federal College of Education, Ofeme, Ohuhu, is not an experiment, but a fully accredited institution, equipped and authorized to train the teachers of tomorrow. It also set the benchmark for quality, reminding us that our programs must continually meet national standards if we are to remain relevant. Therefore, as we matriculate our pioneer students today, we do so with pride and gratitude, knowing that they are enrolling into programs that have been duly verified, approved, and accredited by the regulatory body. This is a solid assurance that the academic journey here rests on a firm and credible foundation. Staff recruitment and students admission. With the gracious waiver and authority obtained from the relevant ministries, departments, and agencies of the federal government, and with the approval of our governing council, we successfully recruited teaching and non-teaching staff. This exercise provided the college with the essential academic and administrative backbone required to begin our mandate. It was on the strength of this solid human resource foundation that we embarked on admission drive. And at the end of the exercise, we were able to admit our pioneer set of 150 students, whom we are gathered today to formally matriculate. On June 24, 2025, academic activities formally commenced, marking the transition of the college from vision to a vibrant reality. The 3 events, the resource verification and approval of programs, the recruitment of staff, and the admission of students, are inseparably linked. Without the approval of programs, no further progress could have been made. The recruitment exercise gave life to the approved programs by providing the college with competent human resources to deliver them. The admission of students was possible because our programs had been verified and approved, and because qualified staff have been recruited to guide them. In this way, the 3 events are inseparably linked. Verification gave us legitimacy, recruitment gave us capacity, and admission gave us purpose. Together, they mark the true birth of the Federal College of Education, Ofeme or Ohuhu, Abia State. And today's matriculation is the celebration of that birth. Today's ceremony, therefore, is not just a celebration of our pioneer students. It is also a celebration of the strong institutional structure that have been put in place to guarantee their success. recognition of awards of scholarship to our pioneer students. At this juncture, I wish to place on record the contribution of some individuals who assisted us in our admission drive by way of awarding scholarship to the majority of our pioneer students in response to our clarion call. These include Dr. Michael Igwe and Dr. Chris Mosu, both medical practitioners in the United States of America and proud sons of Ofeme, who awarded scholarship to 30 and 20 students respectively. Others include Honorable Anderson Kelechi Akaliro, member representing Umuahia North in Abia State House of Assembly, and Chief Ifeanyi Godwin Anyogo, who are sponsoring 10 students each in the college. To these noble sons of Ofeme and Ohuhu, we say a heartfelt thank you. Your generosity has not only lifted the financial burdens of these indigent students, but has also written your names in gold in the annals of this college. We pray that others will emulate their shining examples. Infrastructural development and interventions. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as part of deliberate effort to ensure the steady development of our institution, I am pleased to inform you that the federal government, through the Federal Ministry of Education, has awarded contracts for the construction of a 72 female hostel. 72, please. The project is already ongoing and has reached an appreciable level of completion. This hostel, when completed, will go a long way in addressing the accommodation needs of our female students. In addition, the college has been allocated a take-off grant by the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, and it is our expectation that the contractor will soon resume work on the selected projects funded from this intervention. We also look forward with optimism to further intervention from TED Fund and other relevant agencies, which will help consolidate the infrastructural foundation of our young institution. Our developmental needs and appeal. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, while we celebrate these achievements, we are also conscious that much more still needs to be done if this college must attain its full potential. I must quickly add that government alone cannot fund education or provide all that we need. Like every young institution, our needs are enormous and urgent. To create a conducive environment for teaching, learning, and research, the college urgently requires the following facilities and support. 1. A multi-purpose hall to host large gatherings. Secondly, modern lecture theaters and academic staff blocks for effective teaching and research to provide offices and work spaces for lecturers. We also need building complexes for the schools approved for the takeoff. We need a reliable generating set and solar lighting system for uninterrupted power supply. We also need the construction of the college access road and internal roads to enhance mobility within the campus. We need a modern administrative block to centralize and coordinate administrative operations. We need modern library complex to serve as a hub for research, reading, and knowledge development. We need an ICT building to equip students and staff with 21st century digital and technological skills. We need a college clinic to provide medical care for staff and students. We need a male and female hostels to ensure safe and affordable student accommodation. We need a perimeter fence to guarantee security of lives and property on campus. We need operational and utility vehicles for effective management and mobility within and outside the college. These are pressing necessities that will enable this institution to grow rapidly and fulfill its mandate of training competent, patriotic, and innovative teachers for our nation. Therefore, as we celebrate this maiden matriculation, I make a passionate appeal let all public-spirited individuals, corporate organizations, philanthropists, and lovers of education join hands with government to build this institution. Your contributions in infrastructure, in equipment, in scholarships, in endowments will not only celebrate the growth of this institution, but will also serve as a lasting investment in the lives of future generations. Today's matriculation is, therefore, not just a ceremonial rite of passage for our pioneer students. It is also a call to action. Together, let us build a citadel of learning that will bring pride to Ofeme, to Ohuhu, to Abia State, and to Nigeria. Students' welfare and responsibilities. My dear matriculating students, today is your day. This ceremony marks your formal admission into the academic family of the Federal College of Education, Ofeme, Ohuhu. You are not just students, you are pioneers, history makers, and the foundation stones upon which generations to come will build. As your provost, I assure you that your welfare is and will remain at the very heart of our mission. Through the support of the Abia State government, our classrooms and offices have been renovated. The Federal Ministry of Education has commenced the construction of a 72-room female hostel. And we are exploring the establishment of a college clinic alongside expanded lecture halls, laboratories, and libraries. Scholarships such as those generously awarded by the illustrious sons of Ohuhu further demonstrate that you are not alone. Many are willing to invest in your future. Yet, to whom much is given, much is expected. This college is committing resources, staff, and facilities to your growth. In return, we expect you to commit yourselves wholeheartedly to your studies. Be punctual, disciplined, and uphold the values of integrity, respect, and hard work. Obedience to the rules and regulations of the college is essential, not to restrict you, but to guide you toward excellence and maintain order in our community. Let me remind you that a minimum of 75% attendance at lectures is a mandatory requirement for eligibility to sit for examinations. This policy is in line with national standards. This policy, which is in line with national standards, ensures that you acquire the knowledge, skills, and discipline befitting through graduates of this institution. I therefore encourage you to take your studies seriously, attend lectures regularly, and engage fully in academic and extracurricular activities. This college belongs to you as much as it does to us. Care for its facilities, respect its rules, and contribute to its growth. As you do so, management will continue to listen to your concerns, respond to your needs, and provide the best possible support for your development. Together, let us build not just a college, but a community of excellence, service, and character. One that will mold you into teachers, leaders, and nation builders tomorrow. Conclusion. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we draw the curtain on this historic maiden matriculation address, let me once again express my profound gratitude to the federal government of Nigeria, the Abia State government, the National Commission for Colleges of Education, our governing council, our staff, students, community leaders, and indeed all stakeholders who have contributed in no small way, in no small measure, to bringing this dream to life. Today's event is not just about the formal admission of our pioneer students. It is a testimony that a seed planted with faith and nurtured with sacrifice can grow into a flourishing tree that will shelter many generations. So our staff, I charge you to commit to give your best with dedication and punctuality. For you are the custodians of this vision. To our students, I say the future is yours, but it will only yield to hard work, discipline, and integrity. To our friends, benefactors, and partners, I extend once more an open invitation. Join hands with us in building this college into a citadel of learning, and service that will stand the test of time. With God on our side and with collective will of all, I have no doubt that the Federal College of Education, Ofeme, Ohuhu, will soon take its pride of place among the foremost institutions of learning in Nigeria. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Thank you very much, my provost. Thank you for that wonderful speech. I believe this is an encouragement for us staff and especially the students. Students, are you happy? Yes, you can see there is a lot of assurance being given to you today by the provost. So it means that your stay here is going to be a splendid one. Isn't it also? So it means that as a pioneer student, you know what to give us now, isn't it? You're going to make us proud by giving us excellent results. Isn't it also? So without wasting much of our time, we'll be calling the representative of the Honorable Commissioner of Education in the person of Barrister Chinyere Owoko. Welcome to the podium.
Good afternoon, everybody, especially the matriculating students. Good afternoon. Thank you. I'm the Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Tertiary Education, Barrister Mrs. Chinyere Owoko, ably representing the Honorable Commissioner for Tertiary Education, Professor Uche, who is unavoidably absent because of state functions. So I'm here to read her speech. Thank you. Speech by the Commissioner for Tertiary Education, Abia State, Professor Uche on the occasion of matriculation ceremony for first-year students of Federal College of Education, Ofeme, Umahia, not local government area, Abia State. It is with great honor and gratitude that I stand before you today on this important occasion, the matriculation of a pioneer student into the prestigious College of Education, Ofeme. I bring warm greetings and congratulations from the Ministry of Tertiary Education, and on behalf of the government, I extend our best wishes to you all as you officially begin your academic journey in this noble institution. Matriculation marks your formal admission into academic and social community of this college. Therefore, it is more than just a ceremonial tradition. This ceremony also marks a significant milestone, one that carries with it both the excitement of new opportunities and the responsibility that comes with being a student of higher learning. Let me take a moment to commend each and every one of you, the matriculating students, for earning your place here. Your admission is a testament to your hard work, perseverance, and potential. You are joining a community that has a proud tradition of producing educators who are not only academically sound, but also morally upright, committed to national development and passionate about shaping future generations. Education, particularly tertiary education, is the backbone of any progressive society. As aspiring educators, you're not just pursuing a career, you are embracing a calling. You are being prepared to become leaders in classrooms, mentors in communities, and role models in our society. In Abia State, Our education-loving governor, Dr. Alex Chiomoti, OFR, recognizes the vital role that colleges of education play in the training of qualified teachers. I'm sure you heard when the provost was reeling out all that our loving governor has done for this school. This is why the state, through Ministry of Tertiary Education, continues to work closely with our institutions to improve infrastructure, revise curriculum to meet contemporary needs, enhance research capacity, and ensure the overall quality of teachers' training. You will recall that since inception, the governor has played active and supportive role in making sure that the college finds its footings in solid foundation, both financially and otherwise. I want to assure you that the government of Dr. Alex Oti will not relent efforts in making sure that the college succeeds. To the management and stakeholders, I want to express our deep appreciation for your continued commitment to academic excellence, mentorship, and innovation. The impact of your work extends far beyond these walls, reaching into every home, school, and community that your graduates serve. Please keep the flag flying. To the matriculants, I urge you to take full advantage of the resources and support systems available to you here. Engage actively in your studies, seek knowledge beyond the classroom, and cultivate the values of discipline, integrity, and respect. Remember, the choices you make here, both academically and personally, will shape the kind of educators and citizens you become. I must also highlight the importance of embracing technology, continuous learning, and critical thinking in your training. The world is changing rapidly, and the classrooms of today are not the same as those of yesterday. As future teachers, you must be equipped not only to teach, but also to inspire creativity, resilience, and innovation among your future students. Let me also remind you that this journey will not always be easy. There will be challenges, but with determination, support, and right mindset, you will overcome them. And when you do, you will emerge not only with a certificate, but with the confidence and capacity to transform lives through education. Once again, I congratulate all matriculating students on your admission. You are the future of our education sector, and we believe in your potential to make positive impacts both within these institutions and far beyond. Thank you and congratulations once again.
Thank you very much, representative of the Honorable Commissioner, Barrister Chinyere Woko, for this wonderful speech given to our students. Students, don't you think that she's a lovely mommy?
Yes, sir.
You can see the word of advice, encouragement, especially the one coming from our darling governor's wife in the person of Chief Mrs. Chioma Oti. I believe with this, we all are prepared to give this school the best of all. Is it not so? Okay, thank you very much. I want to use the opportunity to call in is it not so? Mommy, you will not understand what I'm saying. It means that you are the one that is cooking what is happening. It means that this time around we want to call in the chairman of the governing council, the one who makes us feel today is today. She is no other person but Hajia Rabia Husseini Adamu, chairman FCE Ofeme Governing Council. Mommy, you're welcome.
representative of the Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Education, Abia State, the representative of the Ministry for Education, as well as the NCCE, the regulatory body, provost of this esteemed college and his team, members of my own team, the most erudite council members I've ever worked with, teachers, lecturers of this very new institution, our traditional fathers here present, the students, pioneer students of this school, members of the general public, members of press, good afternoon. I am indeed very happy to be part of this event today. More so than the fact that only barely a year ago, this place was not at all habitable for even grazing cattle, not talk of a school. We thank God through His mercies by giving us a governor here who was committed to what we are supposed to be doing here. Like you've all heard, he renovated these structures that made it possible for us to at least commence work this year. So I'd like to extend my sincere appreciation to His Excellency, to the Commissioner, to the Secretary here, and to ask him to kindly come and visit this school and see the great work that he has done that is coming into fruition today. Today's matriculation is indeed very refreshing. 160 students are matriculating today. Across all the subject areas, I've noticed that there's a lot of people, a lot of interest in business education sector, followed by political science, social studies. From my mental calculation, I think there are about 44 people wanting to study business, about 20 in social sciences, sociology, social work, social studies rather, and then there are about 15 in political science or thereabout. This is very good, but as a teacher and as a player in the education team, in education sector, as a team leader of some sort in any activity that relates to education in Nigeria, I think that this admission profile is saying a lot. Nigeria is at the threshold of a crisis in the education sector, and we all know that. And the biggest crisis point in Nigeria is a teacher crisis. We have a gap of about 1.2 million teachers. We need 1.2 million teachers minimum for Nigerian classes to be adequately provided for. The ratio that we have is supposed to be 1 to 25, one teacher to 25 pupils. But there are schools in this country where you have one teacher to 300, one teacher to 400, one teacher to 500. I'd like to believe that the interest that you have shown in coming to a college of education is to become a teacher. And I know many people would not agree with me, even most of you there. So you go for business education, I hope I will not come back after 5 years and find you in the markets, not in my classrooms. I hope I will not come back in 3 or 5 years and find you in customs, immigration, and so on and so forth. This is what is happening to the teaching profession. So please, my message to you all today, please, we need teachers. If there are no teachers, there is no future. And if there is no future, who will teach your children? Who will teach your grandchildren? Who will provide the leaders of tomorrow? The teachers make the presidents. The teachers make the engineers. They make the architects, the doctors, the lawyers, and everybody else. So if we all run away from teaching, it's going to be a bigger crisis. So please, I'd like to call upon you all, matriculation students, to ensure that you remain within this profession. I promise you, Nigeria will not disappoint you. Nigeria is thinking moving forward. Nigeria is thinking giving teachers the requisite recognition. We have had a policy called the National Teacher Education Policy, and that policy is talking about how to make teachers' salaries, welfare at the forefront of the government of the day, especially. So a lot of reforms are coming, and the reforms are supposed to make sure that the teaching profession is restored to its previous glorious days. I am a teacher, and I still work in the teaching profession, and I believe that your reward is not only in heaven, your reward definitely you deserve it here on earth. I don't know whether I can make a promise, but I will want to believe the work that the provost and his team will be doing here will ensure that we keep engaging the critical stakeholders, the critical providers, to make sure teaching is once more restored. So we are having problems not only in general classrooms, but in the rural areas especially, we don't have teachers. So I know that most of you would not want to go to the rural areas, but I'm appealing to you to consider going to the rural areas because that is where the work is. We need to do that. We cannot continue to have zero access to education in the rural areas. And the NCE certificate itself is supposed to provide for good for primary education. And we find a lot of the NCE graduates preferring to teach in the urban areas and also in secondary schools. That is why the quality of education in this country is getting worse and worse and worse every day. We find that the unqualified teachers are all teaching the foundation years. Foundation skills are very important, and that brings my mind to other issue that I've noticed in the profile of the graduate of the matriculating students today. Primary education is the bedrock of the education sector. I'd like to see more people coming into the PES department, the Primary Education Skills Department, to provide quality teachers for the primary education sector. I know that you are also teaching in the junior secondary school sector, but the most important foundational stage is the primary school. So please, your primary education department, provost and team needs to be supported. It is the baby of this institution. It should be the love child of this institution. And as long as I am the chairman here, I'd like to insist that we take care of what is happening, deep interest at what is happening at the PES department. So we are here today to celebrate ourselves, and not only to celebrate ourselves, but to celebrate the future. And I'm very happy that at least we have this number of people. Many of my colleagues in the other colleges of education have far fewer students, and they have been looking helter-skelter to beef up their enrollment. I am very happy that this is happening, and I think one of the most important reasons why we have so many students is because of the community. Your community has really lived up to expectation by giving scholarships to students. This is the way to go in Nigeria if we want to change the education profile of this country. I would like to enjoin on all members of the community and far and wide, those here in the country and those in the diaspora, to continue supporting this noble initiative. I would like to extend my appreciation to the traditional community, to the leadership of this community for their support to this institution since we came. We have had several engagements with them, and we are very understanding and committed to what we are committed to. So I'd like to, at this note, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to talk. I could talk and talk and talk probably for the whole day because I'm a teacher. So I would not like to bore you to continue talking. I hope that this is the first and the best to come here is yet to come, and subsequent graduation, matriculation will definitely be greater than this. We have about 1,000 students maybe to matriculate in the next 2 years. Thank you very much for listening, and congratulations once again to the students. Congratulations above all to the management team that have been working tirelessly with very little minimal support in terms of environment. And I'm happy that the environment will soon be up to standard to provide better services. Thank you all very much indeed. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Thank you for that wonderful speech. Without wasting much of our time, the day hour is here. The time we'll be calling up the students to be inducted officially into the college. I will be calling upon the college registrar to call up the in respect to this. Thank you, ma'am.
I call upon the Dean, School of Arts and Social Sciences, to present the matriculating students
Dean, School of Arts.
We, the matriculating students of the School of Arts and Social Sciences, stand and remain standing. Provost, I present to you the matriculating students of the School of Arts and Social Sciences.
I formally admit you to student membership of the Federal College of Education, Ofeme, Ohuhu, Abia State, Nigeria, and enjoin you to live up to the standards expected of you.
You will receipts.
upon the Dean, School of Early Childhood and Primary Education, to present the matriculating students.
matriculating students of the School of Early Childhood and Primary Education stand and remain standing.
I formally admit you to student membership of the Federal College of Education, Ofeme, Ohuhu, Abia State, Nigeria, and I enjoin you to live up to the standards expected of you.
Please, can you have your seats?
I call upon the Dean School of Languages to present the matriculating students.
The matriculating students stand and remain standing.
I formally admit you to student membership of the Federal College of Education, Ofeme, Ohuhu, Abia State, and enjoin you to live up to the standards expected of you.
You can sit.
I call upon the Dean School of Sciences to present the matriculating students.
Will the student of School of Science please stand and remain standing? I present the matriculating student of School of Science for proper admission and matriculation.
I formally admit you to student membership of the Federal College of Education, Ofeme, Ohuhu, Abia State, Nigeria, and enjoin you to live up to the standards expected of you.
Then you can then sit.
I call upon the Dean School of Vocational and Technical Education to present the matriculating students.
Will the matriculating students of School of Vocational and Technical Education stand and remain standing? Provost, I present to you the students, matriculating students of School of Vocational and Technical Education.
I formally admit you to student membership of the Federal College of Education, Ofeme, Ohuhu, Abia State, Nigeria, and enjoin you to live up to the standards expected of you.
I invite all the students, matriculating students of School of Vocational and Technical Education to sit down.
Provost, I call upon the matriculating students to make their declaration of loyalty to the college. Will all matriculating students now stand and remain standing? Repeat after me. I mention your name. Do hereby solemnly declare that I will, to the best of my ability, and as may be required of me from time to time, abide by all the rules and regulations of the Federal College of Education, Ofeme, Ohuhu, and that I will not belong to any cult group I hereby resolve to be a disciplined, industrious student and to uphold and protect the tenets to which the Federal College of Education, Ofeme Ohuhu, is established, and hold myself in honor, bound to serve the college, my country, and humanity diligently. So help me God. You may now sit.
Thank you very much for that wonderful introduction. Students, you are now full students of the Federal College of Education of Ofeme. I want to use this opportunity to recognize the honorable member representing Ikuano Umuahia Federal Constituency here in our midst, Honorable High Chief Obi Aguocha. Honorable, you're welcome. Without wasting much of our time, there are some of the invited institutions here around, and they will be giving us one or two goodwill messages from their institution to us, and I believe that will spur us high to further our achievements in academics. First in the list is the Provost of the Federal College of Education, Technical Umunze, Anambra State, duly represented by the Deputy Provost, Dr. Tangod Nzeribe. Doctor, you're welcome, please.
It's brighter than tomorrow. And if you really try, find there's no need.
It's bad. This is an address and felicitations from the Provost, Federal College of Education, Technical Umunze, Professor T.O. Okoli, at the maiden matriculation ceremony of the Federal College of Education, Ofeme, Ohuhu, Abia State. The Chairman Governing Council, other distinguished members of the Council, all other distinguished members here present, please permit me to stand on the established protocol. It is indeed a great honor and privilege to witness the maiden matriculation ceremony of this college. This is indeed a historic moment that holds profound significance, not only for the college and its pioneer students, but also for the host community and Abia State at large. This academic rite marks the formal admission of the first set of students and sets the stage for academic journey that lies ahead. I commend the foresight of the federal government in establishing this institution, thereby widening access to tertiary education for our youth. I equally acknowledge the unwavering support of the Abia State government, which enabled the college to overcome initial challenges and commence academic programs in earnest. Special appreciation also goes to the governing council of the college, the traditional ruler of this community, and the other eminent stakeholders whose selfless contributions have made this day a reality. Truly, an investment in education yields the highest dividends. Permit me to recognize the laudable efforts of the pioneer provost, Dr. T.S. Zeme, and his management team for their dedication in harnessing resources judiciously and putting the requisite structures and facilities in place. Every great institution begins with small steps, and I am optimistic that the seed sown today will in due course blossom into flourishing citadel of learning, one that will command national pride and global recognition. To the pioneer students, I offer my heartfelt congratulations. You are the foundation stones upon which this enduring legacy of this institution shall be built. As trailblazers, your names are permanently inscribed in the history of this college. You are the torchbearers of our collective hopes, the pride of your families, and custodian of the future. I urge you to embrace your studies with diligence, discipline, and an insatiable quest for knowledge. Remember that you are the face of this young institution. Therefore, uphold the ideals of scholarship, integrity, and good conduct in all your endeavors. Once again, on behalf of the management and students of the Federal College of Education Technical Umunze, I congratulate you all and wish you a fruitful academic experience in this college. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Federal College of Education Technical Umunze, for that wonderful good message. Also, to talk to us is the Provost, Federal College of Education, Akwa Ibom. He is also, or she is, he or she is also representing the committee of Provost. She is no other person but Dr. The Provost of Federal College of Education, Akwa Ibom State.
Thank you so much, the moderator, even though you have forgotten my name. I am Dr. Adam Ntu. I'm actually here on dual capacity, representing the Governing Council, management, and students of Federal College of Education, IDDEP, in Akwa Ibom State, and also the Committee of Provosts. So on behalf of these two bodies, we are grateful this afternoon to extend our warm felicitation to the Governing Council, the management and students of Federal College of Education, Ofeme, Ohuhu in Abia State. We say congratulations. God bless you all.
Sorry, sir, for mistaking your name. This is not my intention, but I know you duly understand. I want to use this opportunity to recognize His Royal Eminence Eze Nnamdi Ofebu, Diowa 1 of Diowa Kingdom, Oroko, Abia State. Please, I want to use another opportunity. I want to use this opportunity again to invite the registrar of Benjamin Odumegu College of Education in Ituboma for his own goodwill message.
The Chairman of the Governing Council, the principal officers of the college, the entire management team, staff, students, and the entire college community. My Provost, Dr. Mrs. Wachikuchinyana Mary Rose, couldn't be here because she was out on an official function, but she has sent me to commend what you're doing. I have discussed with her about the college, and this is my first time stepping on the soil of this college, and I must say that I am impressed. My provost, this success recorded today is quite amazing. I wasn't expecting to see it this way, being the first matriculation ceremony of the college. But I think this is beyond my imagination, and I think it must have taken you hard work, your commitment, dedication, and above all, prayers to ensure that this day was, as it's going and is, a huge success. Thank you very much. Let me spend a little time talking to the students who have enrolled into this college. Because in the academic environment, we address each other as students. So both staff, students, all of us, we are learning. So my fellow students, I want to thank you for the resolve you've made to enroll into this institution. The choice you made is one of the best and most important choice of your life. You may not know, but as time goes on, you will live to testify that this is the first step and the best you've ever made in your life. I want to encourage you not to look at the environment. Don't let the environment define your stay. Let your commitment to excellence be what will define your stay in this college. So don't go comparing your institution with one big one. It's not about the facilities, it's not about the structure. I've seen your staff and I believe you have the best hands to handle you. You have the best management to take care of your needs. And I heard the council chairman say she's resolved, she's committed to ensuring that you, as long as she remains the council chairman, Mayudi said that. So please be comfortable, be at home. It's not in the big citadel, it's not in the big structure, but it's in the quality of what you have, which I think you have the best of it. Thank you very much, and let your stay here be fruitful, let your stay here be one that you will enjoy. Don't miss it. You know what brought you here is academics, giving your heart, giving your time, and be committed. We are talking about not only the certificate as somebody said, but the character that you're going to build here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Benjamin Owajumegu College of Education, for that wonderful good message. Also, want to recognize the presence of His Royal Majesty Eze Godwin Asamoah Owa 2 of Umuowa Locha, Umuowa Olocha Ancient Kingdom. Thank you very much for those goodwill messages. We want to use this opportunity to thank all of you for that wonderful one. We want to also use this opportunity to thank our students for their patience. We also want to thank our council chairman, chairperson, for being here with us. The next on our item is the cutting of the cake. I've been asked by the provost to invite all the provosts here present, all the traditional heads here present, and all members of the governing council here present, management teams for the cutting of the cakes. Please kindly bring out the cake for the cutting. Thank you. And also the representative of the Commissioner of Education should be part of the cutting of the cake. Thank you, sir. Please, those in charge of the cake, should please help us to bring out the cake so that the people that are called upon can cut the cake in due time, please. Please bring out the cake for cutting at the center. Please bring out the cake. Protocol, please bring out the cake for cutting at the center so that it will accommodate every member that are called upon. Please, you can bring it forward so that it will enable all of them to stand around for the cutting of the cake. I want to welcome the President General, Ohuhu Welfare Union Worldwide, High Chief Okechukwu Uwaze, and his executive. You're welcome, President PG. PG, you're welcome. Please, the member representing Ikwano Federal Constituency, please, you are also to join for the cutting of the cake if you are still around. Thank you. The provost here present, the chairperson of the governing council, management team, all members of the governing council, management team, the traditional rulers here present, please join us in the cutting of the median matriculation cake. Ndeze, Ikono, Ogerule.
Standing in the rain as the clouds go gray. From the rose and the season's just beginning. Sunlight flies as the clouds make way. For the pouring of my blessings, I will not be afraid. I see it now, I understand, I know.
Representative of other provosts of the institution to please join. Representative of other provosts of the institution to please join. The cutting of the cake.
Lord of the harvest moons, looking back on its soul. The land is green, it's green, oh, oh. The land is green, it's green. Can't you see? The harvest is ready. The Lord of the harvest told me so. It's green for me. It's green for me.
Okay, thank you very much. I think now I have the charge now to take charge of everybody here. So I will be commanding and directing that on the spelling of the name FCE Ofeme, the cake will be cut. The provost, sir, Council Chairman, are we good to go? If you are good to go in the spelling of F, C, E, I think O should come next. With another E. Well, the federal government of Nigeria is F, isn't it? With E meaning excellent. And that is of Ofeme. M again, representing the people of Ofeme, and E the last one. 1, 2, go. Hip, hip, hip. Thank you very much for cutting of the cake. Thank you for cutting our median cake. May God bless you all. May we continue to enjoy ourselves. So please, without wasting much of our time, I want to also introduce the Ohuhu Youth President, the President of Chief Uchenna Iheanacho, and also Ofeme Youth President, Chief Max Igwe. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us. Please, the cultural troupe. Please, you only have 2 minutes. The first cultural group. Please, the cultural dancer should get ready.
Hopeless sinners who has hurt all mankind, just to save his heart, believe one Lord. What about a one heart? What about let's get together and feel alright? As it goes in the beginning.
Please, the cultural troupe, please get ready. Immediately after the presentation of kola nuts by the traditional rulers, please, the cultural troupe should please get ready and do your performance. And you know, in Igbo land, they said the kola nut does not hear English. And at this time around, we know that this place It's an Igbo land, and we are not going to use the English language to express ourselves in the presentation of this kola nut. I'll be calling the son of the soil and also a member and a staff of the institution in the person of the prince. The prince and the PRO of the college, a person of Prince Obioma. Thank you very much, sir. Help us out.
We will not waste much of our time. I want to call on the President General of Ofeme in the person of High Chief Onyemwechi Program. Present the caller to you, sir.
Ndị Ofeme nọ here dum unu abịa o ma ndị eze anyị unu abịa o ha ga-eji anabata ndị onye ọbịa wa ọjị so Ofeme wetara ọjị Ofeme dum anyị na-ahụ n'ọjị mgbe m hụrụ ya so aga m inyefe ya nwanne anyị nwoke eze anyị na-achọ nyeruo ndị eze ndị ọzọ.
Ofeme mmammanụ Ofeme mụọnụ zụọnụ riere eze Ofeme aga m ihe abụọ ọjị atụli ngwanụ were ya gawa before my hand kwanye m ga Mula Emeka Nwankwo Muniaku, His Majesty, so he couldn't come here with a flight delay. So also come represent here.
Hello.
Oh, there's a man manual. Ofeme buruburu man manual. Anyo agbo Ofeme. Because ndị Igbo niile bọbụlụ na mamaniwo ala m asị biko lugwu onye ọbụla onye gbasara ọjị anyị ga-etu ukwu ụka ihe gbasara ọjị n'ihi na ọjị nwunye ọma ọjị ka eji aga ọfọ ọjị ka eji elekọta ịgwa Chineke okwu la mmiri ya before menye onye eze ibe m amịkpọtụrụ onye eze mmiri ya so bịa His Royal Majesty eze asụmụgha ọ dị mkpa onye eze biko ala machi mena aga ekwu ka agbapụ ya ọsọ n'ihi na emechabala ya biko lugwu onye ọbụla ala Ofeme anyị na-anakwara gị ike n'ihi na eze ya nọ nga anyị na-asị biko the provost na ndị niile nọ nga ma register ma the representative of the governor ọwụ alụ ọhụụ ka ọ nọ n'ime ya anyị kwere ndị eze ndị na-ekwu ụka ala nụrụ achị biko lulu na Chineke wetara unu ebe a lalụ ọhụụ n'ime Ofeme unu ga-anwụchu ọnwụ ọsọ unu kwe ma ọsọ unu ekwele enwela ndị niile nọ nga ka nke ndị kechi ebe ka gọvanọ bịa anyị na-ekele gọvanọ anyị ekele n'ihi na gọvanọ ma anyị ọ na-eme gọvanọ nwere ụzọ gọvanọ na-elekọta ndị ọlachi anyị na-ekele ya ekele n'ihi na anyị na ya akwụkwala n'ịrụ ọrụ a kemgbe 2015 na-arụkwala aga dịrị ya bịa wụrụ gọvanọ anyị na-asị nwoke Chineke wepụtara ọ ga-agachiri ya ọ ga-adịrị ya ala mma anyị na-asị biko ala Ofeme gee ntị o ala ọhụụ gee ntị ala Abịa gee ntị ya bụ ọchị gị la mma gị gọzie ndị niile nọ na skuul a wụ the student. Ha agaghị anwụchu ọnwụ. Ọ dị ihe ga-eme ha. Ndị ọcha agaghị ahụ ha. Asị skuul a ọ gara aga from strength to strength. Ọkụ ya n'ihe. Anyị na-asị biko lugunu the lecturers. Anyị sị biko akpara m ọhụụ. Anyị na-asị biko ebe skuul a nọ ọwụ mbido ahụhụ. Biko likwubitu okwu a nkenke the registrar anyị na-ahụ aka ọrụ gị, the provost anyị na-ahụ aka ọrụ gị, na ndị niile gị na ha na-aga ịhụ maka ihe skuul a, na ndị niile gbara unu gburugburu ma chairperson of the governing council. Jehova kere eluigwe n'ụwa ga-elekọta unu. Jehova kere eluigwe n'ụwa ga-ahụ that ihe na-aga eme unu. Ngozi bụrụ ngozi ga-awoke unu. Asị ala agaghị egbu unu ọhụhụ. Unu aga anwụchu ọnwụ. Unu aga ahụ ndị ọjọọ. Onye anyị na-aka ọtọ ekere otu o si adịrị. Anyị na-asịkwa biko ndị niile ọha niile nọ nga bịara abịa mgbe unu ga-ela ihe ọma ga-eso unu. Ọ dị ka gị si ebe a ya nwee ihe mberede ga-eru ya aka. Mgbe a ga-eme ndị kwara ekwenye convocation, mgbe a ga-eme convocation, ọ mgbe a ga-epụta n'uju bịa kelee ihe mbụ ekele. A na-asịkwa ma dị provost gbariwa anya mara ihe ị na-eme. Iwu the speaker of the school na-eme ihe na-alụ ọhụụ ka ọ na-agachiri gị. Na-agba mbọ otu ị nọ nga na-agba mbọ hụ ndị eze gị n'anya, hụ onye ukwu lata hụ ya n'anya, ka enwe ike na-abụrụ ha agụrọgọ ọfọ ndụ, ka a ghara ịtụgharị gị azụ. Anyị na-asịkwana biko lugwu unu niile dekwa ọchị a. Ana m eweli elu mmeli elu menye onye eze nọ nga o eze ihe a na-achọ. Ana m eweli ọchị elu si biko Jehova gọzie nwoke gọzie nwanyị, gọzie na niile bịara nga ka ọ gaziere anyị, gọzie gọvanọ anyị, gọzie ndị niile na-achị achị, gọzie prezidenti anyị ndị icheta anyị na anyị ọ na-emere ndị Igbo, gọzie ya. Jehova duwe prezidenti Tinubu, ọ ga-achịka, ọ ga-achịma. O wetara anyị yunivasiti, tiri anyị ndị mmadụ n'ọrụ. Anyị biko Jehova gọziere anyị ya, duore anyị ya ndụ na aha Kenna na ka Ọkpara na ka Mmụọ Nsọ.
Thank you very much, Thank you very much, Royal Highness, for that wonderful kola nut presentation. Let me inform the general guests here and the people of Ofeme that we introduced this here because this is our maiden matriculation, because the median, our median matriculation, normally in an academic setting, traditional kola nut presentations are always follows part of the reception immediately after the matriculation, where we'll be hosting our guests and entertaining them. But we decided to allow this because we have 3 or 4 Royal Highnesses here, and the color note need to be presented to them. But in the subsequent matriculations, we will know how to arrange this in line with it. Thank you very much, Royal Highness, for that wonderful presentation of color note. Please, the cultural group, I'm giving you only 2 minutes to do your presentation. Cultural group, please. Also, I want to use the opportunity to welcome Prince Tony Eze, the Crown Prince of Ofeme Ancient Kingdom, to the chamber of Ofeme. You're welcome, sir.
One English. Only him now one. You're welcome.
Thank you.
presentation for the Ofeme women. Please, 2 minutes for the presentation. Please, if they're not ready, I have no other option but to call up my honorable and respectable registrar to assist us with the closing procedure. Security. Thank you very much. Security. Daddy. No camera, no. Sorry,
I invite the provost of the college to declare the ceremony.
I hereby declare the maiden matriculation ceremony of the Federal College of Education, Ofeme, Ohuhu, closed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Provost, for closing it. The closing prayer, please. The closing prayer, I'll be calling on the Dean, School of Education, Reverend Sister Dr. Chime Antonia, to give us the closing prayer.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. This is the day the Lord has made. Indeed, we are glad. So, Father, we thank you for making this day a huge success. We are very grateful to you. We ask you, Lord, to come and bless each and every one that have gathered to grace this occasion. As we are going back to our various destinations, may you lead each and every one of us safely, so that at the end, Lord, we will give you all glory and all honor, and our institution will continue to rise from grace to grace. We ask this through Christ our Lord.
Thank you very much.
And of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Thank you very much. Please, students, to keep us standing, don't move, just stay where you are. The mace bearer will lead the procession as the team of the provost and the governing council, the registrar, the bursar, the librarian, and everything will follow the procession, lead the road just the way we came in. Now, you know, initially it was the student that led the procession. Now, it's the provost entourage that will be leading the procession, followed by the academic board, and finally the students. DJ, this is your turn. Please give us a nice for the procession. Thank you very much.
Josh, should not follow. Money, 100%, 100%.
I I know people that you. If I speak English, just I don't know. I want to punish you. I want to punish you. If you see my baby, you go shut up for me. I want to if I go try to do it, you go to I'm glad I have to catch you up and you have to pass it. If your money is a shit, you go Congratulations to all the matriculators in the building. The church has never been before, has never been now. They are hearing the sounds of the generator from this one. I said, if you don't be nice to us, we don't hear anybody. Ladies
I say, if you don't be network, you don't be anybody. Listen now, go! gentlemen, you are reaching your speakers. It's another kind of vibe right now. DJ network on this one. Hey. Anybody else? So to Noble Stock Communication Limited, number one in our whole land, one time. Ohuhu today. For your effort, contact Noble Stock Communication Limited, one time. You get the body with the go away. You get the body with the go away. You get the body with the go. 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 Well done, ladies and gentlemen. Any of your comrades from one of us have Oh, Ladies and gentlemen, our president.
Yes.
We have the number 1